going on, y'all? Welcome back to the TUBCAST, episode 3.
Episode 3, baby. No idea what we're going to talk about. Let's get into it.
Yeah, no, let's run it. I did have one idea today where I showed you a clip, but it was more so talking about just divine timing and being exactly where you're supposed to be at that point in time.
Right.
Because lately in my life, that's where I've felt things have, fell into place, where I just happened to be here at the right time and met the right person, and things are going exactly how I want them to go. And I'm super grateful for those opportunities that have been coming, because it's like putting me exactly where I see myself in the future, right? So it's like these stepping stones moving forward. And I don't think we notice it enough about, just like that timing, like Mike was talking about why rush, or like when you're in a rush and then you feel like this abundance of like stress and anxiety, like not getting somewhere where you're supposed to be at this exact time, but maybe you're supposed to be late, right? Like maybe you're supposed to get there or be at this point in time exactly at that time, because that's, the universe working in its own way and kind of just creating this life that you don't always see at that point in time.
And it's what's really crazy about that is like it's very easy to trust in the plan or trust in your intuition when things are going well, but the minute they start, like what's really fucked up is the ability to get like a chronic disease, like something like my back injury, and to trust that there's something in that, or even like to take it a step further and get like an HIV diagnosis, or something, like get fucking some type of lifelong, like, oh fuck,
right?
You know what's really fascinating, bro? Imagine getting a what's it called when something is going to kill? A fatal diagnosis? Is that what that's called? You know what I'm saying? When like someone's giving a cancer diagnosis? Oh, terminal.
Terminal, yeah.
Yeah. Bro, like...
Right, how do you take that?
Yeah.
So the book I'm reading right now, and I know you've read it as well, I'm reading exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. And they're talking about surrendering to the now, right? And accepting things for what they are. And when you accept everything for what it is, not how you desire it to be, you live a stress-free life. So when you're talking about someone getting a terminal disease, or even someone on like death row, right, about to get executed in jail, there's that brief moment of just complete serenity and brief peace of mind, where there's nothing you can do at that point in time. So the only thing you can do is accept that moment and just understand, like, it is what it is. And that's obviously on a bigger scale. But if you kind of live life like that, especially for the day-to-day things that we go through, just accepting things for what they are, bro. Just understanding, like, I can't do anything about this situation, and just control the controllables. It helps a lot with just the BS negativity and stuff that tries to clutter your mind all day.
Yeah, dude, it's such a crazy, because I know what it's like to, accept something, and before you accept it, you're freaking out about it, and then you it's weird, bro. Like you just get to this place where you can finally like accept something, and then like you just let it go, and like, yo, it is what it is. Like with my motorcycle. So this week, for anyone watching, apparently my motorcycle is probably stolen or it's towed, so which are like two huge. If it's towed, it's a problem because I'm not in Miami, so like it could basically, it might as well be stolen, But I had a little bit more of an issue going on, so like because I had a higher issue going on than the motorcycle, I just immediately accepted it, like to not cause myself any more suffering. I was like, yeah, that's gone.
Yeah,
it's gone. And people are like, but yo, and then my friends like were trying to stress me out. They're like, bro, but like how much is left on the lease? I'm like, 5,000, but it's gone. It's all good. But they're like, bro, like, don't you want to call the tow company? I'm like, yeah, I called like a million times. They didn't answer. But they're like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're so conditioned to stress out that the moment you can accept something, even your boys and your family is like, you know, which is a crazy thing. I mean, I felt that so many times, like having expectations will get you into a lot of trouble. People do that all the time. They expect something to be a certain way, and then it's not that. I do that. Everyone does that. And oh man, like that's one. It's such a weird cycle. That's not even spiritual. That's just a psychological thing. Like I expect A to happen, A doesn't happen, so now I'm upset. And it's like B was better than A.
Right.
So, yeah, that's those are two things. I mean, those are easier said than done things. But
Those take time. Those take a lot of time to really
Right.
get to that point of just acceptance and moving on and having a short memory, because like you said, we've been conditioned, we've been trained, we've been programmed since a young age, right? Like I don't know if we've learned it from the people around us, from social media, whatever. Everything plays a role on how our brain functions.
Yeah.
But I think complaining about shit is the worst thing for you, right? So when you complain about things,
Yeah.
and I go talk to a friend,
Yeah.
and they give you attention for it, right? And they feed into it.
Yeah.
That creates dopamine in your brain, right? And serotonin, all this stuff in your brain. So our brains don't work, how we want them to work. Our brain is functioning how the brain functions. So every time we complain and we get feedback, we receive dopamine. When we receive dopamine, our brain triggers, right? And always tells us to complain because we keep feeding it, right? We keep feeding our brain with this complaining.
Yeah.
And that creates this, domino effect of everyday life where you just complain about every little thing, you stress about everything, and then you go and run and talk to someone about it because they give you what you want to hear, right? No one really, some people, that's the friends you need, the ones that tell you what it is. But a lot of people, one, they don't want to hear your shit. Yeah. And two, even if they do, they're just going to tell you what you want to hear so they don't have to go back and forth. Because at the end of the day, a lot of times people complain. They're not really looking for advice. They're just looking for someone to talk to, right? And just have an open ear to listen to their problems. But, bro, that is a bad road to go down, is complaining about everything wrong in your life and not understanding how blessed you really are, bro. Like, there is hundreds of millions of people without clean water. And you're complaining about, fucking missing something, some BS, whatever, right? Yeah. Bro, there's people that don't have clean water.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of like a traumatic event happening, because like you only know what you know, and to a 16-year-old that gets a Honda Civic instead of a Mercedes could be traumatic for them, So I'm not. No. Now I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's the exact same thing, because it's not. Like, obviously getting chased with a machete in the woods is gonna be like a lot more stressful than not getting the car of your dreams. But that's what's beautiful about traumatic events, because bro, traumatic events really cause you to go back to the drawing board and reevaluate your behavior. And bro, like, I'm the person I am, and I'm as I am humble in a lot of ways. I'm very confident. I'm, so almost like, but again, I am really humble in a lot of ways. What I'm trying to get at is I love the person that I am because of the checks that I've gotten. Anytime I'm going through something, it checks me. It's like, oh my God, like I'm not being sympathetic enough. I'm not being nice enough. I'm not caring about others enough. And the craziest thing is that when you start to complain, we were talking about expectations. That's the biggest form of that's expectations absolute. That's like how to create expectations and bring it to like the polar opposite end in a negative way, is to then complain about it. And then, like you said, it creates that habit, that culture. That's a good word, right? A lot of people's daily culture is not even their habits. Like, habits are, because habits you can change over time, but like your culture is like more or less like your moral compass and like just how you move. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say on complaining, because it's not something that we do, very much. We don't really, and maybe that's why things are kind of working out for us.
Yeah. Yeah, and you bringing up obviously traumatic events and stuff like that. It's a fitting time with all the shit going on with the shootings.
That's been like obviously heavy on your heart, because I saw you posted about it.
Yeah.
We've been talking about it here and there,
Yeah.
So like explain that a little bit, like how that.
So that bothers me, right?
Mhm.
What I posted, right? I never go out and post, on a black screen and type,
Yeah.
but that's just not me, But this morning I woke up and I saw that there was 3 more shootings last night, mass shootings in L.A., Oklahoma, and somewhere else, at a mall, a school, and a grocery store, something like that, right? And my thing is, the mass media needs to stop pumping out these stories and these tragedies, because giving awareness to what's going on is not solving any problems. Nothing is changing. The only thing you're doing is giving a platform for these sickos to get the fame and attention that I guess they lack, or they feed off of, or that they want. And you're giving them like an idea, because you're giving them so much attention in this mass media. And the crazy part is, the media, right, the news anchors, whatever, the media outlets, bro, they're getting so much money off of this. Their ratings are going through the roof because everyone's trying to tune in.
Yeah.
You're awakening all these sickos at their house that want to go get an AR and shoot up a school.
Yeah.
And then the everyday citizen that's going to the grocery store or sending their kid to school is losing a loved one because they just keep doing the same cycle over and over and over again. And it's like, when is it going to change? The outlawing guns is the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Yeah. Because the people that have guns for safety and protection and for a reason aren't the ones doing this. Mm-hmm. So the people with the guns are the ones that are going to be able to go get a gun illegally from someone anyway. Yeah. So now we're going to be at the point where only outlaws and people that are going to do wrong own weapons, and now we're going to have nobody to protect in that situation other than law enforcement.
Is that what they're talking about? Like, they want to get rid of the guns?
Yeah, those are the ideas going around. Like, oh, we need to ban guns all over the place. It's like, bro, if a guy wants a gun, he can go find a gun. It's like drugs. You don't sell drugs at a store, but if you want drugs, you know someone that can get them. It's the same shit with a gun, bro. It's so easy to go get a gun.
Yeah.
How can, you know what I mean? How can the higher ups and the government and whatever not see where this is going wrong and understand that, like, yo, we might need to let these families kind of grieve in peace and keep this on a lower scale instead of pumping it out to the entire country, entire world, so these weirdos don't get an idea to go do this. Because, bro, they're going into it knowing they're going to jail or they're dying. They don't care. They just want to be remembered. And for whatever reason that is, I don't care if you were bullied. I don't care if you have... Bro, there's no reason to do that. There's no accepting, like, oh, he did this because... Bro, that guy killed 19 8-year-olds, bro. Yeah. 8-year-olds. Yeah. Come on, man. It's sick.
Yeah, I think to shift off of that a little bit, then we can dive back into it, because I've been thinking about. But yeah, no, I think that like more like morals are like all weird these days, and like right and wrong is weird these days, and like I remember I read this book. It's called Conversations with God. Like, that's like my favorite book, and in that book it talks about right and wrong on a level that I guess you could say would be controversial. It says, like, how do you know what's right and wrong? Like, but it just seems to me like there are certain things that are getting argued for that are always wrong, like murdering someone. I feel like should, like, without, like, shooting up a school is always wrong, but like, there probably are people out there that will come and say, oh, well, maybe they were affected and this and that, and maybe they were, but that still doesn't change the fact. What I'm trying to get at is we're just living in such a weird time, and I don't want the job of trying to figure that out.
No.
You know, I don't want that. I like my simple life. Although it's not simple, it's like I'm just focused on like being a great filmmaker, building a great agency, having great friends, and maybe when I have more of a platform, then we can go make an impact. But for now, I really don't know too much of what the fuck we can do about something like that. I definitely don't agree that. Like, I don't know, like, it's just, the news is so stupid to me because it gets pumped out. Like, I remember the first shooting that happened, and it was like day 6 after the shooting. So I go to LA Fitness in Comac, and there's a TV in the locker room, and every day, I was there on Monday. They're playing the news. Day on Tuesday, playing the news. Day on Wednesday, they're playing the news. And every single day, the news, like for 6 days straight, is going in on this school shooting. They're talking about, like now it's day 6, so they're talking about the kid's background and his motives and the things that they were finding and this and that. And I'm just like, yo, like, what does an average person do with that information? Like, shouldn't the cops be the person handling that?
That's exactly my point.
Yeah.
Is they keep pumping and pumping and pumping and doing all this, outreach to the masses. And who do you think are watching? It's people like you and I, right? And normal citizens. Yeah. And then it's those weirdos that be like, yo, I want that. I want that attention.
You think it's attention though, or you
yes.
think you think they're just trying to fucking shake shit up?
They're trying to be heard.
Yeah,
they want to be heard, bro.
There might be literally like a militia one day that rises up. That's in a forum right now that we don't even know about. I mean, it's scary. It's scary to think about, bro. I like I said, bro, I haven't put too much thought into any of it, but I mean, I don't.
And we shouldn't, bro. I mean, not that we shouldn't think about it, but like we shouldn't even have that thought in the back of our minds. Like, how many times you go to the grocery store? Like, imagine you walk to a grocery store, bro, and
you start being scared,
and some guy just starts lighting the shit up with a fucking AK-47.
And that can definitely be happening. You know, I'm sure there's large groups of people in the country that are like, yeah, you know what, we're gonna order groceries from now on. Movies, like we're gonna do Netflix. It's like it's almost pushing us deeper on our phone.
Yeah,
because people could be scared of going to the public settings, and fear is a crazy thing because we saw how easy it is for a majority of people to be afraid with COVID.
Oh yeah,
people are still wearing masks. I'm at the point now that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like I don't know too much about science, you know what I'm saying, but like I'm pretty sure that the science says that that's ridiculous now. Yeah. And you know, you create the media created that culture. They told everyone to do this, they did that. And now, you know, it's like I think man, I just don't. It's almost like you have to be built for certain things. You have to be built to hear certain things, which is crazy to say, but like, bro, certain people are just fragile right now, and they can't, like, I know what it's like to be, because, you know, I've had my mental battle, and when I say mental battle, I've like obsessed over things, you know, I've been like scared of something that isn't even real, but I'll like convince myself that it is, you know, and then I'll hear something and it'll just send me off the deep end. Facts. Happened with my mom. You know, this is a story that I've never shared on my Instagram or shared like publicly, but like, bro, when I was 7 years old, or like around that age, my mom didn't live with me for a year. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? You know, I was a kid, so I was like out playing with my friends. You know, I didn't really, you know, I didn't like look too deep into it. But I found out that one day she was at the bank, and she recently, she played tennis her whole life, got injured, and tennis was taken from her. It was like a brain thing, you know, like she went to the doc. She hit her head, so she was like, she had like health anxiety going on, like, oh my God, like, do I have a tumor? She got a graft, there was like a little bit of a tumor going on, you know, so she was already like not, this is what I'm saying, she was in a fragile state of mind. My mom was never like that, bro. You see her, she's Italian, you know, like Italian women are usually like kind of strong, you know? Yeah. But she was fragile because of the injury, and one day she went to a tennis match. One day she went to the bank, and this guy started speaking to her about the dollar bill. I was like, look at this, the Illuminati, and starts telling her about the Illuminati and how the devil runs the country and how God is not real, this and that. Like, bro, she starts freaking her out, and bro, that sent her on such a spell that she lived with my aunt for a year, who was a huge Christian at the time. of like they're like reading the Bible every day. They're doing that. Like I didn't live with my own mother for a fucking whole year.
Wow.
Ever since then, she's been on antidepressants, and if we ever go in a restaurant, she can't turn the news. There's actually a long list of things that she can't do. Like if the news is on, she has to get it turned off immediately. If someone is having a conversation about, she doesn't even know who the president is. If she starts hearing it, bro, she does this.
Wow.
So, the whole point of me bringing that up is that I almost feel like people that are running things know that things aren't great right now for people's mental health. So to continuously push a negative narrative, and for us to know the statistics that like 60% of people in America, I'm pretty sure, are on some type of pain pill or an antidepressant or an antipsychotic, and for people to still push that, you're not creating a society full of warriors.
Right.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that speaks to like the higher. There's a higher agenda.
I agree. I believe in that. Yeah, I do.
There's an absolute higher agenda that we may know nothing about in our entire lifetime, but there's definitely other things going on behind the scenes that we will never know. Scary, but like you said earlier, we don't have time where we're at right now to worry about that stuff. We can't control it. It really doesn't impact our lives up until this point, but we just need to just do what we do, bro, and focus on us and focus on our path and our journey, because realistically, that's the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
You know, your inner circle, your family, your girl, whoever, that's all. That's the only thing you should really be worried about. Everything else is just outside noise. That's all it is. It's just noise.
I agree.
And if you let that noise come in internally, that's when it shakes you up, and that's when you start feeling anxiety.
Yeah.
You know, you start questioning everything and living in that fragile state of mind. But bro, if you have a goal and you're just on this path, on this driven path, to not accepting anything else but success, none of this shit matters, bro. Nothing can get in the way.
I find such solace about that. Like I feel so good knowing that it feels so good to have, like, my business is my purpose. It just feels so good to have a purpose. You know, I know a lot of people look at me and I get a lot of messages, you know, very inspiring messages of people that, you know, say like, yo, like we see like you found your purpose, and I have, and I'm very happy about that. And I, you know, I'm thankful that other people are able to see that, and it's something that I would want. I want to be able to share the message. This is why I do all the social media shit. Is I want to be able to share the message that purpose is everyone has one. Everyone has one. And I don't know. I don't have a blueprint. Hopefully one day I could have a blueprint to help people get there.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's different though. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, the blueprint for you won't be the blueprint for me. It won't be the blueprint for Johnny and Jane and whoever, right? So people can only take so much, right, of what you say, whatever, right? But that's why I feel like you have to be a sponge. You have to be a sponge and take bits and pieces from all over the place. Yeah. Right? You have to absorb everything, all the knowledge, everything. Yeah. Listen to everyone, bro. And that's kind of like the Wayne Dyer thing, right? Being like open to everything, but attached to nothing.
Love it.
So when you live that type of lifestyle, bro, you're open, right? You never know what you could hear. You could run into someone at the gym and hear something about business that'll take your business to the top. You could just be eavesdropping. Yeah. And it could put you over the edge, right? But there's no sense in being attached to anything, because you never know where life will take you. You never know who you're going to meet, what's going to transpire. The only thing you can control is the immediate moment. Yep. And just be present in that moment. And hey, like I've seen a lot of things happen for me from being just a sponge, especially in the basketball world. Yeah. Bro, asking questions. The worst thing you can do is be afraid to ask a question. Yeah. Yo, if you want some insight or some knowledge and you think someone has it, you're shooting yourself in the foot if you don't go and ask that question or introduce yourself. Because, bro, what do you have to lose? I always live by the method and the ideology of if you don't ask, you're still going to be in the same spot, even if they say no. Mm-hmm. So you're better off going to take that shot, right? We talked about that today, bro. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, but I even looked at it where you can't make a shot if you don't take it. You literally cannot make the shot if you don't take it.
Yeah.
So if the person says no or they push you away, you're still in the same position you were if you didn't ask. So why not go and take that risk, take that chance?
Clip. It's very nice to hear that because, again, right now, I didn't say this before, but right now I feel great. I'm a little drunk. You know what I'm saying? We're in the hot tub. I even said it before the podcast, bro. I feel tremendously blessed.
Yeah.
To be able to be doing this. Very thankful and it's very nice to think about. Hey, you don't have to take life so serious to where you're so afraid of what someone else is going to think that you don't start something or you don't do something or you don't even we talked about it before, going up to that girl at the bar.
Yeah.
It's I want to leave. It's not that I'm not going to sit here and say that I want to leave this hot tub and be a new person, but that's something I would like to strive to of being so myself and authentic and unapologetically myself and being so confident that bro, you're just so willing to make yourself almost look like a fool. We've started 18 Instagrams in the past year. Do you know? Dude, but I look at that as a good. We have that. We're gonna be, and we're doing good. We're gonna be really fucking successful when we take that, not being afraid of what other people think about us, and we just get rid of it completely.
Right.
And that's coming.
Yeah, we speak about it, but I really want to get to the point where I'm that guy that gets laughed at, right, for trying something.
Yeah.
I'd rather be the guy that, that fails 100 times at something, or just keeps trying new things and keeps going out and doing this. I'd rather have the majority look at me and yo, he's still trying this, yo, he's still doing this, because the only reason you're not is because you're afraid. Everyone else has dreams and aspirations and this idea in their head of creating their own reality. Everyone has a dream, but I think the reason people aren't chasing those dreams is because they're afraid. So they'd rather settle, and they'd rather be okay with that. Just get a job and make a little bit of money and just live a little bit comfortable, instead of going out on a limb and chasing your dreams, because you only get one shot at this thing. You literally only get one shot.
Yeah. So
what sense does it make on holding back for other people's opinions? Because that shit does not matter whatsoever. The only thing you are is someone else's perspective of you.
Yeah.
You know who you are. You know exactly what you want. What everyone else thinks of you, bro, that's just their own perception and their own perspective of you.
Yeah.
Why does that matter? And we've been trained to let that affect us and let that hinder our progress and let that hinder our dream chase.
Yeah.
Because we're so worried about what so-and-so's doing on Instagram and this on Snapchat, and if they see me wearing this, what are they gonna, bro, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
We gotta stop that shit, bro. Yeah. And I know we're getting close to that because we don't give a fuck what people think. I personally don't whatsoever, and I know you don't.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, sometimes I do, but I go through, I'm a radical guy. I'm extreme here and I'm extreme here. There are some people probably see me. They see me shadow boxing in front of a packed line and the busiest weekend in fucking Montauk at one of the craziest places, and they see me shadow boxing on the line and dancing and wearing cowboy hats and doing this and that. But I also I would say that is the reason for my success. That's the reason why things are working in my favor. That's why I feel very much like I'm on time, like I'm on purpose, like things are working out. But I just want to say to people that because people say to me that I inspire them by being myself. There's a lot of times where I question myself too. So that's a real statement. Like the guy that's wearing cowboy hats and shadow boxing at bars and being so himself also questions himself at times. But in this moment, I understand the only way that I'm going to get to where I have to go is to get rid of my fear of other people's opinions completely. And that's the advice I would give to anyone that is looking for some purpose in their life.
Great episode. Cheers.
Cheers, cousin. That was a good ep, baby.
That was good.
I am fucking sweating.
Yeah, no, I feel like we're in a sauna. But no, that was good, bro.
Yeah, that was fucking good.
That was dope.
Cut.